when you have them as kids and you see the problems that they have there, and then you see adults and you see the problems that you have there, is there some thing that watching them behave as adults and the behavior, the antisocial behavior, is there something that you change then the way that you communicate to the kids to try to avoid whatever path the older guys went down?
So I think it all comes back to, I mean, I'm going to just say this. There's one common denominator with every kid I've ever worked with that's having a hard time in life. And this also goes for my personal friendships with other men. This goes with any human being I've basically come into contact with. I will say the one common denominator is that they're at some point in their lives, it could be age 5, 10, 15, you name it, whatever the age, at some point in their lives, there was a broken relationship with their father. At
Yeah.
some point. Not to say that their dad, for some, maybe the dad wasn't involved, or dad was an addict, or dad abused them, or for some, dad was there every single day and present physically, but not present emotionally. So the common denominator is, unfortunately, I have to be hard on the men, is that a lot of fathers haven't been effective in their parenting and being emotionally available and physically present, as well as nurturing, providing consequences of discipline, and leading properly. So the common denominator comes back to a man's presence, with leading with love and discipline justly.
Right. The and I agree wholeheartedly with that. I would it begs the question. Um, the women are always left in the tough position of having to take care of the kids. How what do they do, or what could they do better from your perspective once they're put into that position?
Who's that?
The moms.
Well, I mean,
What kind of mistakes do they make? If you were talking to one right now, knowing that that their son doesn't have that male leadership. Here's kind of, I guess, what I'm asking is, it's been my experience that the moms try to make up for both the dads and the moms, and in many cases can make that worse. Now, it's already a tough position they find themselves in because they're being the only parent. So I guess, is there a word of advice for them, to anybody listening that's in that position, that maybe they might approach their son differently than what they do based on your experience?
Well, I'm gonna answer that in two different ways. First is, as a single parent, which I have been. I have been a single dad before, raising my child on my own, and I think a lot of times there's a lot of trauma that goes with that. I would say, first and foremost, when I was raising my daughter on my own as a single parent, I should have probably got help, and I mean professional help. I should have got some counseling. I was dealing with a divorce at the time that I went through that, and I never really took the time to heal from that. I never really took the time to process all those feelings. So I took all that negative energy and that trauma, and I just try to channel into positive energy by trying to be the world's greatest parent. So I put my 100% focus on being the world's greatest parent, and basically, to the point of worshiping my child. She was everything, you know what I mean? So it's just like she was up on this pedestal. And I think sometimes parents, because they feel bad about what happened with the mom or dad who's not present, is that they become what's called like a Disneyland dad or Disneyland mom, and you just try to give them the world and give them everything. And
You overindulge them.
you can slip into the trap of, now you want to be their best friend. But you know what? They
Yeah.
don't need a best friend, because you're their parent. They're going to have best friends when they grow up with kids their age. They don't need it from their parent. And that was my mistake early on, is that I was almost trying to be my daughter's friend. And that's a really terrible mistake. So I would say to the people out there who are single parents raising children, is that you need to be their parent, not their friend. And then also you need to provide them with positive role models that can be there to mentor not only them, but the parent themselves, to walk them through that tough process.